I'm going to explain why clothing sucks. First of all, don't get any wrong ideas. I'm wearing shorts. I'm not wearing a shirt. And maybe that makes you a little uncomfortable. And if so, that's fine. I know it's like staring into the sun. There's some alarm bells going off saying, this is not normal. Something weird's happening. I get it. You've been programmed by society to think this way, which is fine. It's got its reasons for it, but it's not natural. It's something you learned. When you were a child, you didn't care about running around naked. You loved it. No, you had to learn the shame. Learn that it's not okay to show skin, because skin communicates sexuality, basically, which is kind of crazy. I mean, think about a bird. Does a bird ever wear a shirt? Does a bird wear pants? When you see a bird flying around, do you say, oh, what a sexual bird? No, it's just a bird. Sometimes it's sexual, sometimes it's not. Most of the time it's not, but it's always just walking around with what nature gave it. This is how we're meant to live as well, according to nature anyway. But society has us harnessed. The compliance rate is pretty much 100% that we all have to wear clothes. Clothes work like a sign at a shop or something. It says, warning, no loitering. Or it says, the rules of the park are, you must go home by this time. So the point of a sign is that it can tell people things at zero cost. It just sits there, and then the people that show up can read the sign. It's kind of what clothes are like. It's basically a method of social communication that you literally wear on your body, and people can just see it. And based on what clothes you're wearing, they can say, oh, that person is a police officer, or oh, that person is a worker at this shop, or a construction worker, or oh, this guy is a college student, probably, or this is a businessman. These are all things you can tell just by what people are wearing. So clothes are fundamentally a social communication billboard that you drape on yourself. And it lets other people put you into a box right away. So then they know how to deal with you, and they can kind of gauge whether you're above them or below them, whether you're a professional or you're just a civilian. So already I'm uncomfortable with it because I don't want to play into this system. I don't want to be judged based on a bunch of preconceptions that people have based on my supposed station in life. If people are going to judge me, they should see evidence of who I am and judge that, not just fit me into some role and then judge me based on that. I don't want that. People take a lot of pride in their identity based on what clothes they picked out, and this seems kind of silly to me, almost ridiculous, because almost nobody makes their own clothes. You go to a shop and pick out the clothes that somebody else made, somebody else provided. Society sort of provides a big clothing rack, and you look through it and you find the thing that speaks to you and says, oh, this is the kind of person I am. I'm going to buy this. But you didn't make the clothes. You didn't design the details. You just picked something and Maybe a lot of it you liked, some parts maybe you didn't like, but that was the best thing you found, so you bought that. And anyway, you're changing your clothes every day, so it's not like you find just one clothing that matches your taste perfectly or something. You keep changing it. Women do this a lot. Women love to change how they look because men like variety. So a woman doesn't want to look the same every single day if she's trying to attract the high status men around her. She wants to keep grabbing their attention, so she keeps wearing new outfits every day, looking new, looking interesting. It's not really that way for men. Men tend to wear similar things every day, but they'll change up the color, maybe wear a different tie, different color shirt or something. But it doesn't really reflect you because you didn't make it. You don't know. You don't even know how to make it. You don't even know what it's made of. You don't even know what the process is. It's not something that you spent a bunch of time, spent a bunch of energy, like laboring to produce. It's just something you found at a store or you found online and you ordered it, and now you're wearing it all proud, like, I picked out this. Or maybe you spent a bunch of money on it. Maybe it's a fancy suit and you're saying, I spent a bunch of money, so you should respect me based on what I'm wearing. All this stuff, it's petty, it's small. It's not a good reflection of who you are really, like who you really are. It's just something you drape over yourself. It's a costume. So I don't think it's authentic. Maybe it can reflect some of your personality in a vague sort of way, but its main function is to serve society. So you can be placed into pigeonholes. I don't like that. I'm not a nudist. I don't know anything about nudist colonies or anything. Now, I'm not saying we necessarily should go around naked or anything. That, it might cause some problems in certain ways. But what I am saying is that we certainly didn't evolve to wear clothing. For millions of years, we got by just fine as the human animal, using our own natural long hair to warm ourselves. Clothing is fundamentally a heating technology, actually. It's a technology. It's not part of who we are. It's not part of being human. It's a technology, like fire or computers. It's something we made. We figured out how to do it. It's a double-edged sword too, because clothing, it traps heat against the skin, which is great for surviving winter, perhaps even necessary in harsh climates. We evolved closer to the equator so we could enjoy pleasant temperatures all year round. But once we started spreading out to the further latitudes, the winters were rough. We needed a way to survive, and heat and clothing was the technology that let us do that. So it's fundamentally a heating technology, but technologies always have, they're double-edged swords. They have positives and negatives. So the negative of clothing is that by trapping the heat next to your body, there's nowhere for evaporation to go. Your skin is a very sensitive cooling instrument for your body. It uses sweat that it very carefully manages, which evaporates, and the evaporation of the sweat cools your body. And your body has all sorts of ways to thermoregulate itself, to keep itself at the nice, ideal temperature. And that's one of them. And by wearing clothing, you trap the air against your body. Now it has nowhere to go. And then your skin freaks out. It just keeps producing sweat forever. So you wear a shirt and it gets all freaking sweaty in the armpits, right? Why is that? Because your body is sweating, trying to cool yourself down, but there's nowhere for the air to go. So it just gets hotter. And then it sweats more. Because it's like, oh, if I keep sweating more, maybe that'll cool it down more. But it just gets into your shirt and it just creates a mess. It creates an odor. That's another thing. Human beings don't smell bad, actually. They smell appealing in a certain way. They smell like human, you know. It's a nice scent. It's appealing. But what doesn't smell nice is the waste product of microorganisms. And that's what gets to thrive in that environment when you wear shirts. What do microorganisms like? They like it to be dark, warm, wet, with a food source, and on a surface that doesn't move. And when you wear a shirt, that's exactly what you give it. It's dark in there, you cut off all the light. It's stagnant, there's no air flowing through. It's warm from your body heat. It's got a food source from the oils that your hair glands are producing. And then the shirt gives it a nice little unmoving surface where it can just sit there and grow. So it grows and grows and it poops and poops. And yeah, it smells horrible. But that's not a human smell. That's a smell of another creature, microorganisms, taking dumps. And yeah, it smells awful. I don't go around like saying you should smell bad. No, you shouldn't smell bad, but it's wearing shirts that makes you smell bad. That's another reason why I'm never wearing a shirt, because I don't want to get all smelly. I mean, you can tell this for yourself. Go get one of your like used shirts out of the hamper and smell it, and yeah, tell me what it smells like. Probably not good. It's just more evidence that we evolved without wearing clothing, because if you don't wear clothing, all of that sweat will evaporate and the air will move through with a breeze, and the microorganisms don't have a chance to reproduce like that and create all that smell. Your body is like it's like a river. It flows. It's constantly moving. You know, your blood is constantly going through your veins. Your skin is constantly shedding. Your skin are like little rafts on a river, and they keep like flowing off of the river. I don't know how to explain it, but microorganisms can't really like create a colony on your skin very well. It's designed well to prevent that. It's a living thing. It's going to expel the microorganisms. You don't really have to worry about that if you live naturally. It's only when you mess with your natural state by wearing clothing that your body freaks out and it now starts creating all these problems. But society loves this. This is like society's favorite thing, is this fear that, oh, maybe I smell bad. Whoa, what if I smell bad? People won't like me. Because there's this sort of phenomenon where you can't really smell yourself as easily as other people can smell you. Because when there's certain smells that are persistent, you get used to that smell, and then you can't really smell it so much anymore. So for you, you don't smell much, but other people come in, they're like, whoa, that smells horrible. So what it does is it creates this tension where people are never sure if they smell bad or not. They need to ask other people, oh, do I smell bad? Do I smell bad? And this is the perfect situation for living in fear, living with anxiety, living with shame, living with this imagined thing that you're doing wrong, but you're not sure if you're doing it wrong or not. And society loves this state. This is the perfect state for it to exploit, make you do all sorts of things for it. Just because you're worried, oh, what if? But if you live naturally in accordance with your body, then you wouldn't have to worry about this in the first place. I understand that some people, especially if you're overweight, especially very overweight, yeah, you can smell bad without even the shirt and clothing and stuff. It's because your skin, you get so much fat that your skin ends up touching itself. And skin that's touching skin, that creates like all those conditions I mentioned before, where it's like a feedback loop, and then the microorganisms can thrive there and create smell. So that's not good either. But I mean, when we evolved back in our evolutionary past, I doubt many of us were getting that overweight such that our skin would touch each other, you know. Even your armpit, you know, like it has hair there for a reason, to sort of let your body move so the skin doesn't touch the skin. It all works together. Everything in your body is designed to work together to eliminate all these problems that come back as soon as you start doing these weird artificial things that we do in our modern culture. So those are a bunch of my thoughts about clothing and how clothing kind of sucks. I'm not against it 100%. I mean, it's a useful technology for staying warm. And of course I do wear clothing out in public, of course, because, you don't want to kind of make a stand out in public where you're going to like freak people out in weird ways. But if I can make a small stand on my videos here on YouTube, I think it's a reasonable place, because I'm not doing anything outlandish. I am doing something a little strange and unusual, and it might creep people out a little bit. They feel like they're staring into the sun when they look at all my videos, like, what's this guy? Why is he ever wearing any shirts? But this is the message that I want to get out. I don't know how many people will actually watch this and understand what I'm trying to say, but that's all right. Not everyone needs to know, but in the interest of teaching people about this and maybe subtly making a change in certain people's minds, I think it's worthwhile. So I'm just doing what I can, and that's all I can do. So I hope you enjoyed this, learning a little bit about my perspective about clothes. Hopefully it gave you a little bit different and new perspective maybe you didn't think about before, and hope you enjoyed it.